few days ago, some of our friends had something happen in their life. The Hollars, Meg, Ben, and their children, had an auto accident. A lot of you may know that already. We certainly wanted to recognize it here. It's a big deal. Pretty traumatic. Nobody was injured. There's some soreness.
Nobody was
physically
hurt. Hot back.
They all walked away.
They all hurt.
Yeah, they all walked away. It's a big deal. I mean, their vehicle that has done so much for them is gone. And for those of you who have had vehicles like their
Sasquatch,
part of the family. And so, you know, it's a big loss, but at the same time, very traumatic. And there's a lot of emotions I'm certain that they're going through now afterwards. So if you weren't aware, you are now. Please, in some manner, reach out, share your love with them, let them know.
They do have someone put their P.O. box on. It's the very first comment. You can go there if you want to help donate. I do not know. Remember, they're trying to live debt-free. I'm sure buying a new car at this time was not in their budget. Yeah. So I heard from her today, and they're sore, and they appreciate all the love. They feel like we're all holding them up. We just want to send our love. It feels like they felt like our children, except when we would all sit around the table together. We felt like there was no age difference whatsoever. Yeah, I remember them saying that. It was wonderful.
Yeah, it was awesome stuff.
So those are our dear friends, Ben and Meg Hollar.
Hollar Homestead.
So give a holler out to Hollar. We're sitting here in the Aspens.
Yes, we are. This is a nature trail in Lamoille Canyon. Gorgeous place. You just heard a car go by. There's a road right here, but not a lot of cars on it, actually. Great place to be in nature, to relax.
My hand is up here to hide the wind from my microphone.
This is what, 10-minute, 15-minute drive from our house? Not a big deal.
Yeah.
Closer than town, actually.
Yeah.
So it's kind of awesome place to
Looking at giant mountains up there and
yes.
Aspens behind us. It's really, really pretty. Maybe we should let these folks know a little bit about what we've been going through in the last 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, you know, since my transient global amnesia incident, a lot of changes.
Eating bugs.
It was a very real experience. I mean, you can't argue against being gone. I mean, I have no memory. I have no idea. So it's not like, you know, buck up. I didn't even know it had happened. It just happened. And you know, I'm okay. So, it didn't hurt, but it scared her. So it's very real. It's a very big deal.
Well, it scared you a few times since then.
Well, you're just thinking about, anyway, we talked about it before. So it was a big deal, but it's caused us to be much more sensitive about how we're feeling, especially me.
And one of our viewers had that happen to her husband, and she said, it happened to him. I went through it, and that's what happened. Yeah. So we have done something that we have never done before.
We've never felt the need.
Right.
You know, I mean, we didn't feel like it was unnecessary for everybody, that it was a bad thing. It's just we felt in control, and we still do somewhat, but this scared us. This said, there's something we're missing. There's something we're not taking care of, and it erupted into this problem.
So we are both seeing counselors, going into therapy for that. We're seeing different counselors at the same place, and it has helped so much.
Absolutely. I've realized several things about myself and about my experiences, about how I handle things, and you know, I don't have it all figured out, but I'm making some changes. But one thing that I'm much more sensitive to is how I'm feeling about what's going on. In fact, the other night, I was feeling anxious. And the way that we both knew it is I didn't just fall asleep as soon as I hit the pillow. I always do that. But this, I'm there, I'm tossing, turning, and finally Rhonda suggested, get up, go do something. You know, you've got to, you're not going to get any sleep. You've got to find a way to get past this if you can. And so I did. And we have nice comfy chairs, recliner chairs.
Lay down almost flat.
But, you know, a little bit of prayer, a lot of meditation about it, a lot of thinking about it, and I made some realizations and kind of came to turn. There were like 3 different possible things that were going on that might have been causing anxiety. And one of them, as I thought about it, I became very anxious. The others, it was like I was
just life.
It was just life, you know, just dealing with stuff, and they felt under control, but that one didn't. That one actually made you that how you feel anxious inside. As I thought about it, I got more anxious inside. So that's one part of my life that I don't need it, and I'm not sure how I can change how I react to it, and I'm not so sure that I want to.
And I have to say that this is the first time that you've had anxiety since that happened, that I was able to see, you know.
Sure. No. You know, I maybe had twinges of it, but nothing like this. I mean,
well, there's a, I teach groups at work, and every 4 weeks I teach a class on being able to deal with our mental illnesses. And depression and anxiety are a mental illness. And almost every single person has some sort of that. And I put on the board, it needs to be possible that we go to the doctor to see someone for what we're feeling, like Jim and I are doing right now. That needs to be as natural as going to a doctor for the flu. And we need to end the stigma on that.
Yep.
And to be able to realize that depression and anxiety go with this stressful world that we live in. And and this is what I tell my groups, and they all agree, that when you take yourself and you hold it inside, or you take yourself into the bedroom and close the door, that you make it worse and worse and worse. That being able to open up to someone about it is your best therapy. No matter if it's a therapist, or a husband, or a wife, or a friend, you need to be able to acknowledge, I have depression. I am anxious.
The bartender is probably not the good choice, right?
No, not with my clientele. So.
Bottom line is we're finding ways to understand it, finding ways to understand what changes we need to make, and getting rid of the parts of our lives where we don't need them and they cause some of the anxieties.
It's just been really fun, actually, because we both see counselors and then we talk to each other about it, and then we go walking every morning 2.5 miles and just talk.
Yeah.
And it's so great. And we've just said, oh, we don't need this, and we don't need this, and we need this, and
that's not going to help at all, sweetie.
okay, you guys have to see this, what's behind us. This is a beaver dam. We'll take you closer in a little while. We should probably bring you up to date on our timeline for Missouri, because it has definitely changed.
It has changed somewhat. We were talking about going there in October, and having me stay.
We were talking about you going there in August.
And then going there, me permanent, in October.
Right.
Not doing either one of those things.
Nope.
Really backing off from as some of our plans like that. We originally, in our changes, had said, well, let's go do a vacation in October and go home and just visit and do a couple things. then we said, well, if we're going, why don't we just take our things that are in storage and store them there as opposed to storing them here? That way, when we do leave here, we don't have as much that we have to take care of. Seemed like a stress reduction activity. So that's the plan. In October, we're going to be taking our stored items in a truck, driving there, unloading them, doing a couple things, and then driving our car back. We're going to pull our car with us because we don't want to fly.
Can I tell you what the couple things are? Can I?
Do you know what they are?
Yes.
Can you explain them in detail?
No. We have a field that we really want to work on and make it into a food forest eventually, but it runs down.
It's sloped.
We've showed it to you before. We want to make a swale that goes across it. We're going to probably end up making 3 eventually, but we want to...
We don't see that we have enough time to finish one. We hope we can finish the first one.
We're just going to learn about it, play. It's just going to be our vacation, no stress.
Yep.
We're taking the BCS with us, obviously, since it's going to be back there. And that's what we're going to do, is play that way.
Yep.
Play on our land.
Yep.
And then, yeah, we're driving back because we don't want to fly right now.
Probably not by October. It may be worse in October for all we know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then we will be going to move there sometime next year. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables in that.
Yeah.
So.
That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Cause. What else do we have to bring up? You know, we've been sitting in the outside in the evening and watching amazing things happen.
Yeah, we'll show you a couple of them that happened Friday night as we were out there. We have a little bit of video footage of that. Fun stuff.
Do you want to show them behind us?
Let's show.
This is a beaver. This is a nature walk. It's a half mile. This is a beaver dam. See, if you put the camera right here, you'll see this is beavered. All of this is beaver dammed. It's pretty amazing. And you can hear the water and see the mountain. And it's pretty gorgeous. We were hot in our house and we're like, let's go to the mountains. And since it's only 15 minutes away, we can.
As you know, we are staying on...
Cohabitating.
Connie and Tim's farm and providing help here and there. They're actually gone for a week. They needed to do a getaway, and I don't know if it's going to be for a full week. Who knows?
Close.
Close?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Tuesday to Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday to Tuesday. So we're taking care of everything here. The animals, the things that need
the
to be...
pigs. He keeps coming in really dirty.
Well, I'm finding out when I can go out there that they tend not to be out. Because when they're out, they're really curious. And, you know, they like to get in the mud and then they want to sniff my legs. But they also, they bite to see if they can eat me.
Really?
They truly do.
These are very aggressive ones.
Anything is food as far as they're concerned. They'll eat anything. And there's a little area that's fenced in around where the water spigot is out in the middle of their pasture area. And so I have to go in there to turn the water on and off. And there's like some boards to use to step over the fence because it's
high.
It's high enough that the pigs can't get over it, and kind of tough to step over unless you're really tall. Anyway, the other day when I was out there, I stepped on one of the boards, went in there, and the pig says, "Oh, there's maybe I can eat that board," and started grabbing the end of the board and picking it up and trying to bite into it. Anything, the hose when I'm watering it, they're biting on the hose, but they're always like biting on my legs. You know, just, can I bite this?
You know, I remember Joel Salatin saying once that you can go into a lot of different animals on the farm, but if you go into a pig one and you lay down, they will eat you.
Yeah, you don't hold still long enough, you'll be eaten. No doubt about it. Pigs are pigs.
Pigs are pigs.
Oh, I think in a previous video we mentioned that there was some kind of a, they'd lost several chicks. The last time they were gone, the first day I went out there, they were out of there, I don't know how many chicks, there were only 4 left.
Well, that was after all the baby chicks that they'd hatched from eggs got eaten.
When Connie and Tim got home from their trip, they were looking at their game cam that I had set up, and they set up more and watched for a few days, and finally saw that it's a skunk that was getting in and getting those chicks, and probably also getting into the laying hens and taking the eggs, or at least totally stressing out the hens to where they weren't laying anymore. They caught the skunk. It took them multiple days to finally get it caught, and now that the skunk is gone, the production of the laying hens is way back up.
Suddenly we're getting a lot more eggs.
Yeah. And the 4 chicks that made it are in with the big chickens now.
We know that so many of you are watching us, and we are very much appreciative of that. This is our approach to life, and we still very much want you to know that we enjoy eating right, exercising, becoming emotionally well.
We've always talked about it, but now we're getting serious about it.
And we do it on a homestead. And what about a homestead?
We're not youngsters.
Nope, we're not.
We like to think we are, but a lot of people think we aren't. One of our core messages is that anybody can homestead, meaning wherever you are, whatever you have, even if it's growing one plant in one pot, if you've got a windowsill, if you've got a patio, if you've got a yard, whatever you have, you can grow some food, and we very much encourage you to do that. And it doesn't matter how old you are, you can grow food as well.
My grandpa did that.
Yes.
He had, when he was middle 80s, he had tomatoes growing on his patio.
Yes. So you can always do it. Don't ever quit. Keep working at it. Know that you can do more than you think you can. Stretch out and make it happen.
We thank all of you for watching us. If you haven't subscribed and you watch us, please subscribe. Share this with your friends. We appreciate you all. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.